you get to this place?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. Okay, so like I said, I grew up in the church, and I started to question. One time I questioned the preacher, the pastor. I said, he was sick, so Father sent me to look for him. So I said, Elder, heaven is this beautiful place you think of. So why you don't just die and go there?
Kabu is in Sierra Leone, and you heard her say that we'll be going to that Jimmy Cliff interview that was done in 2017 in the period of the Lifetime Achievement Award from IRFM to Jimmy Cliff. And so, without further ado, we will go to that interview.
Dr. Jimmy Cliff, thank you so much for joining us on the Africa Forum.
Oh, it is my pleasure, Kabu. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for joining us. I'm telling everybody, you gave me permission to call you Uncle Jimmy Cliff, and I'm still working on it. But it's coming, because when we're doing this interview, it's going to be Dr. Cliff for this morning. But thank you also for calling. I think that we were being sabotaged, but here you are. We appreciate that. Yes, I think that's what it is. Yes, not at all. All right. Wow. I mean, all of Jamaica is really waiting with bated breath to see you on the 12th, to be part of this event, which is the IRFM's Lifetime Achievement Award presented to you. But I know you, I've spoken to you, and I think I'm getting a feel of who you are, which is, yes, this Lifetime Achievement is going to you, but the focus you want is to be on the nation, on Summerton in particular, on the school, but also on other issues which you are very, very concerned about. And that issues such as identity, culture, the music, where we're going. And we want to get into some of those issues this morning, Dr. Cliff. But first, to talk about Summerton and this small community. Wow, I mean, all of Jamaica is really waiting with bated breath to see you on the 12th, to be part of this event, which is the IRFM's Lifetime Achievement Award presented to you. But I know you, I've spoken to you, and I think I'm getting a feel of who you are, which is, yes, this Lifetime Achievement is going to you, but the focus you want is to be on the nation, on Summerton in particular, on the school, but also on other issues which you are very, very concerned about. And that issues such as identity, culture, the music, where we're going. And we want to get into some of those issues this morning, Dr. Cliff. But first, to talk about Summerton and this small community which has given birth to somebody like yourself. How important is Summerton to you?
Summerton is my backbone. It's my nervous string cut there.
Yes.
You know, at that point in time, there was no hospital, so the nurse, they call out the nurse when your mother is ready to give birth and to come. So, Summerton is so important to me. I've learned all my lessons of growing up there. I never left Summerton to come to Kingston until I was about 12 years old. So, that's my formal formation as a being, as an artist, as a man, and searching for my identity. They were all formed there before I came to Kingston.
Mm-hmm. And you're also pointing us to Adelphi land as also significant, because in terms of where you were actually born, very near in the same area, but in terms of identifying the area, you were actually born in Adelphi land.
Yes, Adelphi land is where I was born, and there are many surrounding areas, but that's the spot where I was born. And It's on your program now that we're disclosing that. I never disclosed that before.
Okay. All right. Well, here we have it first. but it's really pretty close. It's Summerton, I suppose, is a bigger name for that entire area. We spoke with the principal.
Exactly.
Yes, we spoke with the principal of the Summerton All Age and Infant School this morning, and really, he really warmed my heart just talking about the school, what the school has achieved over the years, and the caliber of persons who have come through those gates, those classroom doors. You, of course, being one of them. Can you recall your favorite memory of Summerton at school in Summerton, at Summerton All Age and Infant School?
Okay, well, back in those days, we had knowledge of, they gave knowledge of gardening. We had to do agricultural work. So you learn how to plant things, grow things. Then we had knowledge of woodwork. You had to learn how to make things by hand. And so it wasn't only academics. And those lessons of the variety of things that I learned as a child, they have become so valuable to me now. It was a great fun days of my life, running to the river, going up in the hills of Adelphi land, cooking with my friends in the days and sitting and eating, going back to school. I sold newspaper. And when I started to take what we called lessons at that time, lessons like I wanted to take first year, second year, third year, but it's what we would probably call A-levels now, and that.
Yes.
And but during those times, I had to go sell my newspaper and run back to school and catch it up and that, and so. It was great fun time for me.
Yes, wow, sounds that way, and I think there are some lessons in there for younger, especially young boys, because you talk about getting back to school, but part of your chores and was selling newspapers, and it was more than chores, because obviously if you're doing this is also a way of making a livelihood.
Exactly.
Yes. So
exactly, I wasn't privileged to, today I might be able, a parent might be able to give a pocket money to your child. In those days, I earned it. And so I'm glad for that lesson to, had to earn it.
Because I didn't know that was something that we used to do back in the day where we, young boys were selling newspaper. It sounded more like an American thing. But so how did it work?
It wasn't something common. My father took on the responsibility of being an agent for the Gleaner and the Star, which was the only newspaper existing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to be the vendor, reluctantly. So I learned about economics, because if I sold off my 100 newspaper or whatever, and 1/2 a penny is missing, I could not leave out of the house until I gave account where did that 1/2 a penny go. So I learned, great lessons from those things, So it was like that. It wasn't like a normal thing that lots of boys did. I said reluctantly I did it because my father made me do it.
Mm-hmm. But there's still a lesson there, because here you are.
Oh, big one, big time.
And we see so many of our young men now. I've been having conversations with a lot of young men who are going to school now, and the idea, the mentality of, and we do have some ones who are looking closely at the academics and achieving and so on, and the creative ones. But I know, generally speaking, we now have the get-rich-quick mentality among our young people, boys and girls. That is, we talk about the millennials, and we see that there's this impatience to make money, not so much for success, but to make money. And this is one of the reasons I'm saying there are some lessons there to learn from a Dr. Jimmy Cliff who has come out of the rural community and looking back saying to us, this is what I had to do. Reluctantly, but I did.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes, there's great lessons to be learned because, to want to make money in this time in a quick way, how the society is geared now with technology. If you watch some of the videos, all the foreign videos and whatnot, they are portraying you have to have a big car, you have to have that, you have to have that. And so the lessons that is pumped to the youths is a lesson to get that. They don't tell you how you're going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But you just see that and okay, that is the thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like false. And the natural way of life is, you grow, you work, and you get the things and acquire the things. You make your plans, what you want to do. I had my plans to go to Kingston to become a singer, but I had to do all of those things in Summerton, which built me up for the time when I get to Kingston. And that's natural ways of life.
And this, Dr. Cliff, is what I want to talk to you about also, because we spoke with your good friend Lenny Little White this morning, and he told us one thing he can recall about you as both of you growing up together as young boys, is that you've always wanted to sing. And I said to him that, so it's no surprise then that you wouldn't be surprised to say that Jimmy Cliff actually realized his dreams and is still realizing his dreams in terms of what he wanted to do, broadening it, of course. But what made you? This was your dream as a child. What was the thing that made you so persistent that you achieved? You did not let go of that dream.
I was good academically, but I had to be challenged. So, but what I was very comfortable at, anything to do with the arts.
Yes.
Whether it be drawing, whether it be pottery, whether it be acting, whether it be singing, all of those things, I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a natural thing inside of me. I knew that's what I wanted to do. My family were churchgoers, Pentecostal church. I had to go. And but the dream, I remember singing at the church, and I said, well, this little boy, come up there and sing like that. The church got full. And I said, wait, something happening here. I have something. But prior to that, yes, in the school, when I was in about just before first form, I was in a classroom one day singing a song. And these girls walk inside and say, where is the radio? Because radio was a big thing at that time.
Yes.
And I said, there's no radio. That's me.
Yes.
These were girls that wouldn't look at me.
Yes.
And
well, they heard
so it was. So, wow, I have something here.
Yes.
So, this was a natural thing with me that I just know that I was born to do what I'm doing.
Yes. And then we want to talk about how you've been using that platform. But just before that, who were some of your influences, both early days in Summerton and then later on in terms of the music, those who influenced you?
Well, first of all, how I learned to write a song, I asked my woodwork teacher, Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stewart is still in Summerton today, but he doesn't teach anymore.
Yes.
I said to Mr. Stewart, I hear some songs on the radio and they say they're local artists like Derek Morgan and so on. How do you write a song? Mr. Stewart said, you just write it. So, okay, well, I wrote it. I just wrote some songs and, wrote some songs like that. So there were people like Derek Morgan, Higgs and Wilson, when Higgs and Wilson broke up and then just became Joe Higgs later.
Mm-hmm.
All those people were ahead of me. There were the Blues Busters. I think they have crossed over now. All those people were ahead of me, really doing local work. And so I was inspired by them. Then when I went to Kingston, there was people like Prince Buster and Monty Morris, and all of those people were ahead of me. And so those local people were like the inspirations for me. And then I'm American artists like Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, Smiley Lewis, a lot of the blues and rock and roll people, were inspiring to me too.
Yes. There's so much I want to talk to you about.
Fats Domino was very inspiring.
Yes, I can imagine that. Dr. Cliff, there's so much I want to talk to you about. You're going to be talking to me, Elise Kelly, and Muta. So our listeners who are asking, I'm getting a ton of questions to ask you here. So I'm just letting our listeners know that they'll hear more from you in interviews across IRFM. And we hope that you will be in the studio for one or two of those. But I also want to get to something else, because I know that you have a burning desire to talk to not just the nation Jamaica, but to talk to African people on a whole about the need to understand who we are. I know that one of your greatest concerns in terms of how you're even using your platform is identity. Who are we? Why are we here? And how are we here? Can we start there in terms of just looking at some of the issues which you yourself are pretty concerned about? That idea of defining ourselves. How important is it to define who we are?
Okay, let's look at it this way. Jamaica is a multicultural and racial country. If we call the people who we identify as Chinese, because we still call them Chinese,
yes,
because we know they're from China.
Yes.
We call the people who we know as Indians, we call them Indians, because we identify that they are from India. We call the Europeans, we call them white people.
Yes.
Because we know that they are from Europe. Now the only group of people, which is the majority in Jamaica, that would deny where they are from, they would want to say, I am this, I am that, I am that. If I ask a normal person in Jamaica, who are you? First thing they probably would tell me is their name. I said, but that's not you. Your name can be changed anytime. So, who are you? I said, who you are is who you are by nature. You're an African.
Yes.
Because still, the Chinese will identify with their roots. The Indian will identify with their roots. The European will identify with their roots. Why are you running from your roots? You're running from your roots because you were programmed as a child, brainwashed as a child, that everything there black is bad.
Yes.
And in fact, it's the other way around. So, for a person to know there is a difference with who you are and what you are.
Yes.
What you are is what you've become or what you've allowed yourself to be. Who you are is who you are by nature. And who we are by nature, we are Africans, supreme beings. That's who we are.
Yes.
So,
yes, go ahead.
The importance of that. Marcus Garvey said it. When you know who you are, there's nothing can stop you. And as African people, if you want to say descendants of Africa, because you say who you are, you say I'm a Jamaican. Yeah, you're born in Jamaica, but that's not who you are by nature. You see?
And the You're
Go ahead.
You're touching on the importance of that and pointing to Marcus Garvey also as identifying that as one of the most important things that we can, questions that we can answer as African people. You also talk about the obstacles to understanding who we are. Can we look at some of those obstacles, Dr. Cliff? What are some of the obstacles? You talk about the brainwashing and so on. What are some of the obstacles, that's preventing us from identifying ourselves as who we are? Is shame a part of it? Embarrassment? Ignorance?
Ignorance, all of those. Mary had a little lamb. Fleece was white as snow.
Yes.
You learn that as a child.
Of course.
So his fleece, that is his skin, was white as snow. You look around, you see, it comes through the religion. To get straight to the point, it comes via the religion because Jesus, if you're a Christian, is white, according to all you see and hear and learn. Therefore, if Jesus is white, therefore his father must be white. His mother is white. The angels are white. The apostles are white. Anything connected to divinity in the Bible is white. You know, the only one that you read in the Bible is black. They call him the Prince of Darkness. That is the devil.
Yes.
So, right away there is self-hatred created by a religion. So, you don't love yourself, and you don't love anyone that looks like you. So the religion is the root of the cause of the hatred of self. The Chinese, the Europeans, the Indians don't have that problem. The Africans are the ones who have that problem. So these are the obstacles. So now we have to know the right knowledge, the right wisdom, and the right understanding of who we are.
How do we begin to address that, Dr. Cliff? How do we begin to address that? Because the religion is pervasive. It's everywhere. It's in our curriculum. It determines the laws. It's the very thread that holds
it's a spell of sleep. We've been placed under a spell of sleep, and the lock and key to the spell is the Bible. That's what locked the minds. So, the Bible goes back to Mesopotamia. You have to do your research.
Yes.
And somebody like me who, do my research because I wanted to know who I am.
Yeah.
Where I couldn't find myself in the Bible. Could not. As an African black man. The only place where I saw that was about Solomon and black and comely, and that was not Solomon speaking.
No.
That was a girl. She's saying, comparing herself. I am black and comely.
Yes.
Like
that was the Queen of Sheba speaking.
Like the tents of Solomon and the tents of Kedar and the curtains of Solomon. Who is Kedar? Kedar is the second son of Ishmael, who was the first Arab through mixture of Ishmael and Abraham, when Abraham raped Hagar, the black Egyptian woman. And Sarah said, drive her out into the desert. And if you want to see how they treated Hagar. And now where this Kaaba is for the Muslims,
yes,
that's where they have all the seeds of Abraham and Ishmael and all of that. However, I'm trying to break some of the keys here that's in the Bible and Quran, because they're all coming out of Mesopotamia. So the Jesusism, the Mosesism, and the Mohammedanism, they're all Abramism religion. Abram adopted or got the Zoroaster religion, who were fire worshippers.
Mm-hmm.
And also Hindu religion. And that is what they passed on. Now, thousands of stone tablets were found in Iraq, that's ancient Babylon.
Yes.
With everything that is plagiarized from those stone tablets and put in the Bible today, names added, names taken out, stories put in different forms. So these are the things. It started in ancient Mesopotamia, and that is only 6,000 years old. The Bible is only 6,000 years old. And we, as Africans, were here, thousands, I said, were here millions of years before we built the pyramids, aligning it with Orion, the celestials, and Sirius A. We did all of that. So our story, the true story, is covered in the Bible. So that's the enforcer and the lock and key, the Bible, to open that. Because you start talking to the average person, everything they know, everything they understand is from the Bible. Only 6,000-year book.
And I think,
go ahead.
I think the way that you've really phrased this, it brings it home forcibly to all of us when you talk about the lock and the key on the mind, and the idea then is to open this, is to release this. You're pointing to knowledge of self through going forward, going back to go forward, which is to go forward to Africa as far as you can go, ancient Africa, the building of the pyramids and so on. This, though, because of this lock and key, because of this mental control that's on the minds of our people, how do we begin to break that? How do we begin to open that? When the very book that you talk about is held in such a high esteem, the Bible.
Well, so it's not bad. We have to start reason. You see?
Yes.
And we have to reason together. Because look, take the first book of the Bible, Genesis. You look at Genesis, they say, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And so on. It goes down to verse 26, where it says, and he made man and gave man that. This man that was created, you have to look in the Concord Hebrew dictionary to find out the meaning of things, or the Greek Concord dictionary to find the meaning of words that they put there. For instance, when they say God created the heavens and the earth, if you read it in the Hebrew and look in the Concord dictionary, what it says in the Hebrew, it says Elohim. Elohim is plural. So right there it's telling you it's not one God. Elohim is plural, and it says these beings, those judges. Okay, so right away is telling you that is not this. They have this concept that is one God. Say, do that, and poof, like magic, and everything happens. Things don't work like that. So, and again, if it goes on. So we have to reason together and go to the root of things. It's in the words, in the words, in the language that all the things were written in. And I have to go back to ancient.
I like that you say that, how important it's in the words, it's in the language. I've been having some conversations here over the last few years about the importance of the language, because even for us as African people, we speak a language that is not our own, so that even in that language we have denied ourselves, and we continue to denying ourselves. I remember speaking to Dr. Biwaji and his wife, for example, about the languages of Nigeria. And we were told then that even within the words, as you're saying now, is how you treat others. So a word comes with the kind of respect that you give to an elder, that you give to a child. So the nuances in the words themselves tell you who you are and how you are to treat each other. How important is it for us to reclaim, in the reclamation of our identity, in defining ourselves, to reclaim the language?
Okay, one of the ancient languages that the stone tablets in Mesopotamia, ancient Babylon, was written on is cuneiform. And out of cuneiform came all the Middle Eastern tongues, such as Ugaric, Akkadian, Chaldean, Ashuric, Hebrew, Aramic, Syriac, Amharic, Ge'ez, Arabic, Sabian, Chaldean, and Nubian. All of these Middle Eastern languages came out of cuneiform. And the cuneiform came from ancient Egypt. We, ancient Egyptians, when I speak of ancient Egypt, it includes Ethiopia, Sudan, Uganda, and all those places, because if you look at ancient Babylon, the great cities was built by Nimrod, who's the son of Cush. Okay, so Cush tells you that he's black. So, these are the languages. You have to go into languages to understand. So when you go to the root of the things, so like going back, when I go to the Bible again, the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, and the New Testament was written in
Aramaic.
No, the New Testament is in the Greek.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to go to the Concourse dictionary to find the root of the word, what they're telling you, what is what and what. Because even like with the Genesis, when it says it's the beginning, it was actually not the beginning, because if you look up Genesis in the Concourse dictionary, it's another word in Hebrew which tells you it's a reconstruction. So it wasn't the beginning, it was a reconstruction.
So yes, go ahead.
Now we just have to get to the root of things, and getting to the root of things is through the words. He said, and then go to the first book of the Bible in the New Testament. Say, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So let's go to the beginning of the Bible to see what was that Word. The Word was in the beginning. Elohim created the heavens and the earth. That's what it says in the beginning there. So you go to the beginning of the Bible to find what was the Word, and that Word. We look up what is word in Greek. It's called. It is said spoken. Sound, words, spoken. So it is not. What was happening there? It was a conversation. So it wasn't just one word. It said, "Let there be light." It said God came down. The Spirit of God came down and move upon the face of the waters, which was dark. And he said, "Let there be light." Him asking somebody for light. Who's he asking for light? Him not talking to himself. He said, "Give me some light, the man. It's dark down here."
Yeah.
He come down.
Yes.
He must say he's talking to the other beings. Because don't forget, it's in the Bible again, where beings came down to this planet. So he was one of the first beings that came down to this planet and incarnated in flesh. So he said, the light, no light, not down your man. Mm-hmm. Now, a thing to ask yourself is, if God knows everything that happens before, while it's going on and after, then before him come down, him no should have known no light not down there.
Mm-hmm.
He should know that there is no light. So that's another question. So you can ask a lot of questions here.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is, you have to go to the word, the beginning of the things, the language that the things were written in. Because we are here reading it in English, and we don't know the root of the things.
Yes.
And that's how we get to the facts that we want to know the truth.
Yes.
We don't want to live by blind faith, but by facts. If I ask,
yes,
go ahead.
No, I want to hear the question.
No.
Yes. If
You're saying, please.
All right. All right. So the religion, obviously, where we started, is a part of the problem. So explain to us your own views on how you see religion as opposed to Christianity, as opposed to spirituality.
Okay. Well, we all recognize that. We must recognize that we have a spirit. You know, we are flesh and blood, and we know that. And we recognize that we have a spirit. We must recognize that we have a spirit. So, in our ancient way to look at life, in ancient African way, we understand that there is a spirit in everything. Everything, every living thing.
Yes.
That there is a spirit in every living thing. So, is to understand the spirit. Because we have a spirit and we also have a soul. Most people don't know the difference between that. The spirit is the you, the personality. The soul is the vehicle that will carry you and connect you to your etheric being once you cross over from this life.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference between your soul and your spirit. So it's a spirituality. You understand what's going on in all life that has spirit here on planet Earth.
How have and to just to move from that, you say I'm in the universe, and I understand that in more than you probably even think. For your own self, Dr. Jimmy Cliff, you're getting to the point you are now as a child of the universe, understanding yourself as an ancient, a spiritual being, understanding yourself at the beginning of time, at the beginning of the word, which is, who we are, the building of the pyramids and so on. What was the process like for you getting here? Did you mentioned the Pentecostal church, which I also went through. Did that journey? What was that process like, the journey? Was it a churchical journey? How did you get to this place?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. Okay, so like I said, I grew up in the church, and I started to question. One time I questioned the preacher, the pastor. I said, he was sick, so Father sent me to look for him. So I said, Elder, heaven is this beautiful place you think of. So why you don't just die and go there? Elder couldn't answer my question. Elder never answered my question.
Elder probably take your face straight.
He has him take offense to it.
Yes.
Take offense to it. So, okay, there's something wrong here. It's heaven. They can't prove about this hell. They can't prove about this hell. So, okay, so I start move on. Then a Rastaman in Summerton, first Rastaman, Brother Wren, start to walk in Summerton. and say, love again, brother man. In the beginning, a lot of Christians and, religious people were afraid of him. But me follow Brother Ren go bush, man. Brother Ren had started telling me about Africa and all them, everything we want. But I said, I am a Coptic and a theocracy. And he started to tell me that. So I want to know, what is this Coptic? Yeah. What is this theocracy? So I research again and find out, Coptic means hub. Like the hub of a bicycle wheel, where all the spokes go out from.
Yes.
So, right. So, still, I leave, then I left Jamaica and I went to the UK. Before I went to the UK, I went to New York and I found one magazine called What the Muslim Want, Black Muslim. Elijah Muhammad Speaks.
Yes.
And so it was me and Prince Buster. And so we heard that Malcolm X was going to be teaching in Harlem there. So me and Prince Buster leave to go over there. By the time we reach there, we said, "I'm shoot Malcolm X." But I read in that magazine what the Muslims want, what the Muslims believe, and all of that. So I dive into that too.
Yes.
Then after I dive into that, I left and I went to the UK, and I was kind of cut off from those two sources, which was Rasta and Black Muslim. So I went into, there was a lot of Black Power movements over there. So I went into all of those things. And then I even read Marx and Engels and, searching for myself.
Yes.
Marx and Engels, yes.
Yes, of course.
And then I went to the Vatican. I walked out the Vatican, stayed down there for about a week.
Wow.
I don't see myself in the Vatican. See pure Caucasian people, some say, well, when we fit in. Still don't find when we fit in.
Yes.
So I continued on my journey. And after Elijah Muhammad passed away, I still tried to find. I went to Sudan, I went to Ethiopia, and start to research things. And then I came upon the knowledge of ancient Egypt, that all the religions of the world, from Hinduism to Christianism, Judaism, Islamism, all of them came out of ancient Egypt.
Oh man!
And I said, okay. So I start to research ancient Egypt and how it related to ancient Babylon,
yes,
which is Mesopotamia, located in Iraq. So that's, in a nutshell, my journey.
Wow. Uncle Jimmy. It's No, you had me on the journey with you. I was getting goosebumps through your entire talk. And then when you took us to ancient Egypt and stopped there and connected it back to Mesopotamia, it is beautiful. It is brilliant. I wish we had more time. We're totally out of time, but I'm going to let our listeners...
Well, we're going to continue. This is the introduction,
Yes.
We're going to continue this on the 12th. I look forward to that.
Yes.
Because I really, really want to go into the Bible, which is the lock and key that holds the minds of the people, and quote verse by verse, show them things that they've never even realized that's in there. And this is the introduction.
It is the introduction. You have begun to do that for us. What you have done for us today is that you've given us so much food for thought. We are going to chew this, digest it, regurgitate and digest it, because there is just so much there coming from someone who, you're not just talking it, you've been there. You've been on the journey, you've been through the process, and you've come to this place, which is a beautiful place where, this is something that we are going to follow you on. Thank you so much, Uncle Jimmy. We'll see you on the 12th. Our listeners will hear much more from you with Mutabaruka, with Elise Kelly, and then again on the 12th. Of course, Uncle Jimmy Cliff, as we said earlier. Shane, what a chat with him. I'm sure you are also on that journey with him. We don't get to hear much of that side of Uncle Jimmy Cliff, but I'm glad that we had that chat.
Yes, man. It was really inspiring, seeing him identify himself, not from the Bible, as he said, in terms of where we saw images of white people, but going through the different journeys, the different places he traveled, and his own research. Yeah, man. So we, as black people, as Jamaicans, yeah, man, we should feel inspired to research and see and find out who we are.
This is basically what he was saying, which is when and where we enter. And for him, he took us on that journey as a child, entering through the Pentecostal church and following his spirit and his soul to identify himself all the way through to ancient Kemet and then into Mesopotamia. And he was very serious about the need for us as African people to look again at Mesopotamia. And I owe that to Uncle Jimmy Cliff. We understand that he'll be given a national funeral, so we're looking forward to that. He was such a humble person. He always wanted to take whatever back home to Summerton. And this is something that I think, we should even consider, even we're talking about his own funeral. I'm seeing some stories in the papers today, also in the Observer. Just 13 minutes ago, the Observer shared this story of talking about his children, which seems to be a beautiful story. So let's read that as we seek to honor Jimmy Cliff. We're coming to you live from Sierra Leone. We're in Africa, and this is quite an experience for us. We have been going through Freetown and been engaged in quite a few different activities. One of those included the launch of the One Nation Reggae Festival. And at the launch, this launch was opened by the 12 tribes of Israel here in Sierra Leone. And I had a conversation with the priest, the leader of the 12 tribe of Israel in Sierra Leone. And afterwards, while the music was going on, the drumming and all of that was going on, we tried to have a conversation. And he was talking to me about that, making that serious connection with the 12 tribe of Israel in Jamaica. So Priest Asher, here in Sierra Leone, heads up the 12 tribes of Israel. And so I just took my phone out and said, go ahead and record this. And I will play this for you in Jamaica. More or less a message for the 12 tribe of Israel in Jamaica, from the 12 tribe of Israel in Sierra Leone. And you've got that, Shane, with Priest Asher.
Yes, man. So we have a break, and then we can play that right after the break.
All right. And just quickly to say, the background noise might be a little bit much, but we can still hear him. And it's a short one. So let's go. Inside of the Africa Forum, live from Sierra Leone, from Freetown in Sierra Leone. And as we said earlier, we caught up with members of the 12 tribes of Israel in Sierra Leone. Rastafari issues are similar wherever we go around the world. And I had a conversation with Priest Asher, leader of the 12 tribes of Israel. He's sending a message that he especially wanted to get to the 12 tribes of Israel in Jamaica. Let's go to that. But our apologies for the background noise. We were literally at the launch of the event, speaking on the sidelines of all of that. Yes, my brother, yes. Can you send greetings to the 12 tribe of Israel back in Jamaica?
Yeah. Greetings to every brother in Jamaica. We greet you here as we are on this One Nation Reggae Festival. In the next coming, we invite you all to come. This is your home, Sierra Leone, Lion Mountain. We welcome you all. I'm the High Priest. Welcome you all to the Lion Mountain. Blessed.
And you are the High Priest of the 12 tribe of Israel here in Jamaica. Tell us about the building that you are undertaking to complete.
Yes, as we are in this Lion Mountain, we are erecting a tabernacle up in Winnipeg Hills, New Englandville, in the Lion Mountain. And it's a stone wall, stone peak. Everything is of the rock originally. No bricks, no nothing but the stones in original ancient building. So we welcome you all to come and see this wonderful ancient building we have erected as a temple in this Lion Mountain, Sierra Leone.
The 12 tribes of Israel, as we have said before, very present here in Sierra Leone. What is the membership of the 12 tribe of Israel here? The membership, how many members?
Well, we have members in diverse cities. We have the headquarters, which we are erecting up Winnipeg Hills. Then we have another branch at Judah Hills, the Lion Mountain. So the membership is separated. We have one branch at Judah Hills, Wellington, and the main headquarters at Winnipeg Hills, the Lion Mountain, New England Hills.
In Jamaica, the house is currently on rest. Are you on rest here also, or do you have your ongoing activities and regular meetings?
See, here now, we are not safe in the hands of the government, but we are fighting even the decriminalization of cannabis. We are on it, and we started in 2016. And when governance changed, everything just lagged behind. But we are on the process, and we are asking everybody, the Rastafari movement, diaspora, home and abroad, to help us fight against this decriminalization of cannabis sativa.
Thank you so much, my brother. What can the house in Jamaica do? What can the 12 tribe of Israel in Jamaica do to assist?
Well, we want the 12 tribes in Jamaica to come on board in trying to fight this act against God's giving weed, which He has given unto the 12 tribes of Israel in everywhere in the diaspora, home and abroad. It has been given unto us as a cannabis sativa. So we ask that you help us to fight against this depression.
Thank you, Priest Asher.
All right. So that was Priest Asher, head of the 12 tribes of Israel here in Sierra Leone, underscoring the challenges that Rastafari is facing here in Sierra Leone. But let me just say that the 12 tribe of Israel is foregrounded, and as far as recognition of Rastafari is concerned, in terms of from a government perspective and generally across Sierra Leone, the 12 tribes of Israel is highly present. And I think this is a cautionary tale for Jamaica in a way, to say Sierra Leone is, against all odds, the Rastafari group here on Sierra Leone, in Sierra Leone, that is really holding the flag of Rastafari very, very high, so that whenever there is a government activity such as the One Nation Reggae Festival and the launch and any other thing, if you ask me, from just what we're seeing around here, that they are the leaders in terms of Rastafari business in Sierra Leone. I'm open to correction, but it's just what I've noticed so far in Sierra Leone. I know that we have just a few minutes left, just about 15 or so minutes inside of the program. But just to underscore that what's happening here in Sierra Leone is for us in Jamaica to take advantage of. Because basically what they're saying to us is Sierra Leone is a gateway to Africa for the diaspora. They're looking at Jamaica. I understand that the Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, who is the leader who organized all of this, will be in Jamaica in February during the first week of Black History Month. It's also Reggae Month. So she'll be coming in for that, and we'll hear much more from her as far as that is concerned. We have our own representative on the island, of course. Professor Rosalie Hamilton heads up the honorary Sierra Leone consul there in Jamaica, and it's always open to our telephone calls, our contacts, and always ready and willing to give us as much information as possible. There's some other activities that we did that really for us is, I think when we talk about collaboration, when we talk about how we work with Sierra Leone, is something that we can begin to look at. For example, we went to, in the center of town, an IT center where one of our own brothers here, I think he's from Nigeria. Is he from Nigeria or Sierra Leone? I think but so he was in Dubai when we went there. But it is how the amount of persons that are being employed in this sector and how they're looking at AI and getting out ahead of this, in ensuring that Sierra Leone, and not just Sierra Leone, but Sierra Leone and other countries in Africa, because he told us he's employing 50,000 in Nigeria, a similar amount, I think, in Ghana, and of course here now in Sierra Leone, ensuring that we are not left out of the convergence of the digital technologies, this global digital dystopia that we're finding ourselves in, that Africa is finding a way to get out ahead of it. As a matter of fact, all the minerals come from Africa, don't they? Rare earth minerals and so on. So good work there. So we visited that IT center to see what's happening there. So this is it for us, from Sierra Leone. But just to say quickly, Shane, that we are taking note also of what's happening in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is once again in the geological spotlight following the volcanic activity, a volcano erupting in Ethiopia that hadn't erupted in 12,000 years? That's quite something. So we are paying attention to that. We're looking at the Ring of Fire. Also, we have volcanoes erupting in that Ring of Fire. Let's pay some attention to what's happening with the major volcanic mountains in the Ring of Fire. What's the Ring of Fire again? Let me quickly tell you. I think we have in Japan, the Philippines, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, parts of North and South America, parts of Russia. Ethiopia is not in the Ring of Fire, but we see that volcanic eruption and we're paying some attention there. There was a synchronicity that happened with the Ethiopia volcano and the volcano that erupted. Was it Indonesia? But on the other part of the world. And that is phenomenal, because what I think it is saying to us is something that can only be answered through quantum physics. And we're going to have to pay some attention, because I think even for the scientists, they're trying to come to terms with this. So quantum computing, I think, can answer it, because what happened in Ethiopia was exactly replicated with another volcano on the other side of the world. And then what does this mean generally? I know we're going off on volcanoes, but you know me and quantum computing, Shane. It makes a lot of sense, but it's also answering some of the questions that we have regarding synchronicity, regarding energy and frequency and vibration. These are interesting times, and we are paying attention. All right, so what's left now for Sierra Leone? Let me just wrap this up to say that we have today, the rest of today, the tour of Bunce Island continues, and that will run until late into the evening. As I said before, this is an area where Africans were enslaved. As a matter of fact, you should see what I'm doing. I'm putting on the... Let me read this. Okay, so Bunce Island was one of 40 major European commercial forts built along the West African coast during the enslavement of Africans. Bunce Island, which was originally Bence, was at the limit of navigation for ocean-going vessels, a meeting place for European traders, enslavers, and they have traders on this, and we need to talk to them about putting enslavers, and African merchants coming from the interior. This is really interesting. These words are getting on my nerves because we have European traders and African anyway. Listen, I didn't read this before, but anyway, it's a sign that's on Bunce Island, and the language is driving me crazy because it is all enslavers, isn't it? Coming in from the interior or otherwise. But this site is what it is, and it represents the most vicious time in African history when Africans were so viciously and violently enslaved by Europeans. So the major part of our team, led by Professor Rosalie Hamilton, they are on Bunce Island today. Had to go to the ferry. You take a boat across. It takes about an hour to get there, and then a few hours to tour the entire island and then back. We are in the center of town. We are in Freetown. And as I said at the beginning of this program, we are in Freetown because Bunce Island is pretty uninhabited, where there is hardly any service, whether it's cell service or internet service. So we would not have been able to broadcast from there. But it's an island that I'd like to go to myself. And I suppose when we come back next year, inshallah, we will be able to do that, especially if we can do this on a day when we're not necessarily broadcasting. But that's what's left for today. We're going to be heading home shortly, back to Jamaica. We're home in Africa, but we're heading back to Jamaica shortly. We're concerned about the news coming out of the Caribbean, that Truth Social tweet from Donald Trump, in which he said that the skies over Venezuela will be closed to air traffic. I'm not quite sure what the situation is for the rest of the Caribbean, but we're paying attention to that. He's ramping up the rhetoric, and a lot of people are saying that they do not expect that there will be boots on the ground or that we'll see war. But we have the biggest armada in the Caribbean Sea since the Iraq War, and still others coming. So I'm not quite sure what that means. But as I said before, we're also paying attention to all of that. What else do we have coming up, Nia? So thank you so much to the team, Nia Monifa Teishi Williams Green, who's been with me here all through this process, and as my engineer, liaising with Mr. Wisdom on the ground throughout all of this, our engineer at IRFM. Thank you so much, Mr. Wisdom. At a point, we didn't think that we were able to pull it together because of the situation in Jamaica, because as a result, connectivity, as a result of Hurricane Melissa. But here we are. We did pretty well. So thank you to my engineer, Nia, producer, and technical operator here in Sierra Leone, and Mr. Wisdom, our engineer on the ground in Jamaica. Thank you so much, Shane Clark, last week and this week. I know I wake up before day last week, and you were really very good about this. So thank you so much. Dr. Devon Taylor, I see you, Dr. Devon Taylor. Dr. Devon Taylor, so we need, I see you now. He's telling us what to get on Bunce Island for the broadcast. So we'll leave it in your hand, Dr. Devon Taylor. All right, thanks also and good morning to my brother David Wilson from Rio Nuevo Village on the island there, to K. Ezekwe. Good morning again to Jawari. Good morning to all our listeners as usual. I'm not on the social media. Thank you so much once again, my brother Marvin Wong. Thank you so much. Thank you to IRFM. To the team here, help me with the team here now, because we didn't make a list. Leading the team, Professor Rosalie Hamilton, her and the immediate team helped to organize this, Dwayne, and to Diana. To the delegation, Makeda, King Kali, and Courtney. And who are we? Mama G. Mama G has been really a strength to us on the journey. Mama G, look out for me for make sure we have food for each other. She said, "Look here, but Cabo, notice you're picking around the food. You're not eating, and I'm gonna have to get you something." So Mama G ensure that we are well fed, that nobody not hungry at us. So thank you so much, Mama G, for that. Thank you. Who else we have on the team that we're leaving? Kawa. And, Kawa, who's a protocol officer here, who's been ensuring that we're okay. Once again, to the team that was right here with us, Madam Woke, our fashion designer, Hawana to Sisse from the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, the Assistant Director of Tourism. She was here earlier. Emmanuel Suma from the Office of the Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs. Indira Ramato Kamaro of the Sierra Leone Institute of Theatre, the subvented agency under the Cultural Directorate. She is a Secretary General. And to the wider team, Francis Moma, I think, who did so well. To the team from Jamaica, Queen Africa, Sizzler, Christopher Martin, Luke and I, who we're missing out now from the team. There are two more people who performed from Jamaica. Jatonda, and to all the wider team here on the island. This is going to continue. We've heard from the minister, which is to say that the plan is to make this an annual event. And so you can start saving to be in Sierra Leone next week for the One Nation Reggae Festival. Who did I live with? Next year. Sorry, not next week, but next year. So listen now, this is where Sierra Leone is. Sierra Leone is next door to Guinea, right next door to Guinea, and Guinea is next door to Guinea-Bissau. And I know that you must have read and heard by now that there is a coup in Guinea-Bissau. We are seeing nothing of it in Sierra Leone, but I'm quite sure that if things do not settle down quickly, that there will be a refugee situation. But for now, this is an ongoing event. It's pretty fluid, but that coup has happened in Guinea-Bissau. It's a Guinea-Bissau, and we're close. Just in case you're wondering, we're pretty close, but we're also very, very safe as far as that is concerned. So this is how we say goodbye for today. Thank you so much, Shane. Is Mr. Bigay there? Well, we don't know, but I do hope.
Yes, he's here.
Mr. Bigay.
Good morning, Kabu.
How are you, sir?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. Missing you a lot, but I am wonderful.
Oh, it pobrecito, but I'll be back shortly. It's a two-way thing.
How is Africa treating you? Or better yet, how are you treating the motherland?
We're both treating each other well. I don't ever hear about the big stage show yet, but that stage show at probably 13,000 people. It's a 12,000 venue, so it was bursting at the seams. I mean, really great. It was good.
Meeting up with old friends from Jamaica, meeting up in a foreign land or in the homeland.
Yes, like Luke and I.
Mm-hmm.
Luke for the whole trip. Luke and I called me Andrea Williams.
That is old school. If one actually remember that forgotten name, you come from a long way.
Exactly, and Jatonda is here too. So you'd look from Capleton and the thing. So quite something. Mm-hmm. Sizzler, we traveled with Sizzler come all the way in, so we had some really good conversations, and his performance was brilliant. Also, Queen Africa was brilliant. I mean, all the performances were really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
that's it for me.
How long will you be there for?
We're leaving tomorrow, and it's a long journey because we are going through Guinea. Not Guinea-Bissau, Guinea. And then Brussels, which is Belgium. And then Zurich, which is Switzerland. And then New York.
You didn't tell us that you were going on a world tour.
Boy, I don't want to go on a world tour. It's a bit much.
No, I can well imagine. But you get here in one piece. And we will welcome you with open arms when you return.
There you go. Big game, we can't find out. You know what you want?
Sierra Leone. You have good taste. I'll leave that up to you.
All right, then. Leave it to me.
I trust your taste.
You there?
Reggae Radio, Irie FM.
Yes, Kabu.
Yeah, I was just saying, this is how we say goodbye for today.
For today. All right?
For today.
See you next week,
inshallah.
In the flesh.
In the flesh.
Okay.
Give thanks. Thanks,